Yo, what is up, YouTube boxing family? It's K right here. I'm back at it with another good video for you guys today. Alright, let's talk about a Dillian Whyte versus Jermaine Franklin post-fight reaction. How I saw this fight was just simply that, I thought Jermaine Franklin had won this fight. Some people say the fight was close, they thought Dillian Whyte won, but I didn't think so. I don't think a lot of the stupid casuals really watch boxing, but when it comes from me, I always look at it from a very analytical, objective point of view. That's just how I look at it in all my other sports that I follow. But yeah, let's get right into it. From round 1 to round 5, they were pretty good competitive rounds. I gave the very first 4 rounds to Jermaine Franklin. Round 5 and 6, they were toss-up rounds. I mean, at best, I scored it 8 rounds to 4 Jermaine Franklin's way, or, I'd probably say like 7 rounds to 5. Just your typical standard close fight. Because the only reason why it was ever close was mainly because Jermaine Franklin, his defense was just not there. And granted, he's been out of the ring for well over 2.5 years, but he did come back in May of this year, heading into this fight, and I think it was a good idea to do that. But the issue of the matter is just that this is in the UK. British boxing is very trash, and British people don't care that the American style is favored by the judges. Because I do believe that when the fans cheer on for their guy, for the British, boxing community, they're always going to say, oh, well, the Americans are not that good, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, you British motherfuckers never test your fighters at all. 9 times out of 10, they're heavily domesticated fighters. They never crossed over to the other side of the world, or how, we Americans call it, cross over to the other side of the pond. That's what makes you guys look like cowards, because you guys are not that good. But how I be seeing it in real time, I just don't see British boxing being this powerhouse of good talent, because most of them are not that good. Like Fabio Wardley, he's a decent fighter, which I could talk about him getting a very questionable TKO stoppage or corner stoppage by Nathan Gorman's team, which I don't know why that fight needed to be stopped. He did drop him twice, good job, but I didn't think that was a really right call. I think Nathan Gorman was fine. He could have battled it out until he got stopped really badly, but I think that's just the definition of just quitters in the UK. Boxing stable. UK boxing is just not that good of a stable of good fighters, and I think, honestly, the men are just more pussified than the women. Obviously, granted, shout out to Chantel Cameron. She's like one of the very few British fighters out there that have balls to actually be good, and she she is a good fighter, but her style is not the typical standard British style type of boxing. Her style is very more hybrid boxer volume puncher type of boxing style, and she doesn't have the typical Eastern European or Western European amateur boxing style. she has a good standard professional volume punching type of boxer, pure boxer volume puncher style. That's really what she is. She's just a standard universal style type of fighter, and that's a very good style to have. But I think defense wise, that's that's the ultimate detriment of her style, because what puts her in that category of the Western European style type of boxing is just that you don't move your head, you move around in little circles, and plus on top of that, women, they fight 3 minutes, so you're not really getting the full experience of actually getting hurt in a 3-minute fight versus in a 2-minute fight. You don't really look as hurt because guess what? You're not actually being tested with your endurance and the level of punishment that you're actually receiving when the time is being built up. So, in the case of British boxing, that's really what most of them are. They're really there just to go out there to try to outpoint you. They're not really going in there to actually be tested with all the fundamentals in place. Because if they did focus on the sweet science and then they actually were that good, then I would definitely give a lot more credit to a lot of British fighters. But it's just that most of them are not that good. And in Dillian Whyte's case, he got destroyed by Jermaine Franklin. I didn't see this fight ever being close at all. I actually thought Jermaine Franklin could have won 8 rounds to 4. And I mean, it only made sense because it's like, he wasn't really doing anything, how should I say, like, he wasn't going in there being stupid. Like, he actually did his thing. It's just that he just had, oh, sorry. He had some of those fights where, wait, hold on, give me a sec. Alright, I'm back. So, yeah. Basically, as far as how I saw this fight being broken down, thought Dillian Whyte, he definitely looked like garbage. Looked like he wasn't really in that position of really taking the fight to Franklin. But in Franklin's case, he definitely let Whyte get some good shots thrown at him. And he got hit with some heavy loaded blows. But I think Jermaine Franklin, as a fighter overall, he's a great, exceptional talent, but he just needs to work on defense and athleticism, and definitely cut down the weight. He should really go back down to like 230 or 240. I just don't think 250 plus is like the right weight. I think Jermaine Franklin actually ends up having his weight be used for the wrong reasons, where he gets hit with some really, really bad shots and he's not able to keep up. So, I mean, honestly, man, I think Jermaine Franklin, he has a little bit of improvement, developmental skills to do, but either way, that's pretty much how I see it. Dillian Whyte, on the other hand, he's not going to be around for any much longer. I think AJ is just going to stop him. He's going to get a good final payday. And hey, we may never know how Dillian Whyte wants to end his career, but it's not like he needs boxing. It's like, Eddie Hearn is really giving him all this money where he's able to just basically break the bank because he's like, quote unquote, one of the bigger stars on the DAZN banner, when it comes to heavyweight boxing. And I don't know, man. I think honestly, Dillian Whyte, he's being overpaid for the wrong reasons, because it's obviously showing that Dillian Whyte, he doesn't need to work as hard to even get to where he's at. He fights marginal level opposition. Like I say with any other fighter, I don't care who you are, if you're getting paid marginal level, talent with what you do in the ring, it's like, you're not really that good, like if you're getting paid multi-millions to break the bank where you don't need to work as harder to fight, weaker level opposition, then, you're going to pull off like a Bud Crawford, you're going to basically break the bank until there's no more pennies being given to you. So, I mean, it's a smart move, but it's really not. It doesn't make you any better. It makes you look like crap, and it makes you look like a very crappy individual because, you're trying to beat up on weaker level opposition that's not ready for you. And, the matchmaking in boxing, like I said in the past, it's terrible. Nobody's getting better. Everyone's just getting worse by being fed the weaker, sheep to the more not so hungry lions in their division. And those old lions from the new lions, they're being kept away a lot because it's like, we obviously want to see new, how should I say, new leaders in the pack, where there could be a lot more destructive competition. But that never happens because the fans are not controlling the sport. They're not holding people accountable in the sport, where the tougher opposition needs to be, championed more to have, hold on. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, to have 50-50 level fights. So, to finalize this, I think Dillian Whyte is going to have his career cut short very soon, because I think, the final plan of action is to just fight Anthony Joshua, which I don't know why Anthony Joshua thinks that's going to be like the best fight for him, but it's not, because Anthony Joshua is not going to look any better than Dillian Whyte will. But it's just like, to have a second fight, that's going to make Anthony Joshua feel good psychologically from the Usyk destruction losses. It did, like, honestly, like, it just shows to me that, UK fighters are just, they're just marginal level talent. They'll fight bums before they get killed by deadly opposition. So, but it's not to say, like, Dillian Whyte, he doesn't have a chance to beat AJ, because he did have a good chance in the first fight, but he just blew it away because he had no defense. If he had defense, then he would have stopped AJ, hands down, because it's not like Dillian Whyte, he's a live dog in there. No, he is a live dog similar to Derek Chisora, but the difference is that Derek Chisora, he's really stupid when it comes to fighting on the inside. He doesn't have any head movement, no defense, no ring IQ. And Dillian Whyte has very little defense, but he has great punch placement to land those good power shots. So that's what makes Dillian Whyte a very successful character in the sport. But once he gets hit and he gets hurt with something heavy, it's game over. His defense will show when he gets tired, and then once you hurt him with like a good shot, it's basically over. So that's pretty much how I see it. Like, I'm not going to be biased on Dillian Whyte, saying that he's all garbage, because he does have good skill with his power. He knows, like, when to hurt somebody and try to go in there to close when he sees a good opportunity. But when he can't find the good opportunity and he puts himself in position to be a failure, then that's where you get the situation of Dillian Whyte getting knocked out. Because Anthony Joshua had great success on him, because Joshua was able to tire him out and then find those right shots to put Dillian Whyte down, and then boom, Dillian Whyte, he got slaughtered. So, I mean, Dillian Whyte is not your typical good fighter. He's a low-level trash fighter. But does that mean Jermaine Franklin, he should have taken this opportunity with Dillian Whyte? No. Jermaine Franklin got the experience to go over to another part of the world to be tested against a very not so good veteran in the game, but he's a good, decent veteran that is a measuring stick to the rest of the division. So I guess he's a gatekeeper, semi-journeyman, because Dillian Whyte, he's just basically back on the journey of just trying to put himself in there with some decent level opposition. I mean, out of his last 5 fights, he's never really been doing anything good, because, I mean, you got stopped by Pulev, and then you got stopped by Joshua, and then by Fury, and I think that's about it. But it's just like, honestly, man, Dillian Whyte, he does not show any separation in skill set to be any better than, let's just say, a Jerry Big Baby Anderson or Stephen Big Shot Shaw. I think Dillian Whyte, he would get slaughtered by them. I think Chris Arreola would stop his ass. That's just how bad Dillian Whyte really is. Like, I mean, I don't think Dillian Whyte shows anything more than just him being a slowpoke. I mean, his hand speed is not there anymore. Well, he's never had fast hands, but he's always had really, really good punch placement with his accuracy. So that's something that I could give him credit for. But when it comes to just anything to the level of him just being smart defensively and having good ring IQ behind it, no. Yeah. Dillian Whyte is beyond garbage when it comes to the ring IQ and the hand speed and all that. Like he just doesn't possess any technical ability to make quick and fast, easy adjustments to solidify victory. But that's pretty much how I saw it, man. I thought Jermaine Franklin, he won that. He deserved not to lose, and I really wish Jermaine Franklin could have gotten that win, because I think honestly what would have happened is that Anthony Joshua probably would have not wanted to face him. I think if anything, Jermaine Franklin definitely would have been in the conversation of facing top 15s or top 20s, but it's not like he's a finished product. No, he has a good amount of work left to work on his skill set and just keep getting better. Because, unlike other fighters that think that they're good and they don't have to face against tough opponents, I just find that shit to be really, pathetic and very broken. So that's just not how I am. I'm a very, very live, competitor. That's just how I see myself fit. But if you want to be the best, you got to be the best. So my whole thing about this is that honestly, I think when it comes down to it, there's going to be a lot of questions answered when Dillian Whyte faces Anthony Joshua again. I think Anthony Joshua, he's going to stop him, but it's not going to be one of those type of stoppages where, he's just going to have like an easy night. It's going to be a very rough, rugged battle until Whyte gets knocked out. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much how I'm seeing it. But, yeah, let me know what you guys think about this matchup. Or do you think Jermaine Franklin lost respectfully? Or do you think it was a robbery? So, yeah, that's pretty much how I see it, guys. See you guys later. And salute to the mighty LDBC. Alright, I'm out. Bye.